happening in the display space. And if you look at next slide, it's really about turning a static banner that the creative agency will produce, right? Giving them some ideas that how you can actually turn a static banner into a storytelling. It could be into a creative experience, from a storytelling to drive awareness, to engagement, to really go into the performance-driven, lead gen focus, e-commerce focus kind of creative format. I'm going to play a video just to show you how some of this format come into life, and just to get in sense that how this can be done. Yep. So this example of a video playing on a banner. So the video can play. This is standard 97250 standard span. And yeah, so this one example of a brand that can help to amplify their different offers across different programmatic channels. This is another example, like a carousel format. There's also example like a mini site ad basically you have on a website, and turn that into a display, right? So you can make it very easy to navigate within a banner about the product informations, or you put a vertical video as mentioned, or it could be the last part, which is a lead gen focus, right? Which is submitting a lead on a display. And this is something that I think for the social part has been doing for years, and we're starting to see this happening on the programmatic as well. Yeah. Another example will be driving online to offline. In this case, will be a banner ad that user can fill in their name or mobile phone, submit, and then they can trigger SMS with a promo code to the user, and then the user can go down and redeem maybe a discount or free freebies and things like that. So it's an example of how you can drive online to offline using a programmatic display, of using programmatic creative. Another example is actions that are happening on the website. Bring some of those actions into a display. So in this example will be an airline display banner, but if you look at it, it's actually not a display banner, right? User can actually choose the from destination to destination. Of course, now because of the COVID situation, we are not running anything of this, but just think of it as a way of query ad, right? That means that, for example, if you are e-commerce companies, you can actually query for let users search for product information, let user select the different price range, or if it's a property client, you can search for maybe the what you're buying or renting and things like that. Maybe putting the whole like the query information on the banner, and straight away once user click the banner, you go to the search result, right? So this is another kind of tweak that can be done. Using a programmatic creative, using a CMP. Yeah. And if you go to the lower one, we talk about the DCO, right? DCO is some I hear that it's like a teenage sex. A lot of people are doing claim that they are doing it, but they are not actually doing it. They put a version of banners and then send it over to the media to ad serve. Like 20, 30 banners, right? This is commonly happening in the agency world. But I think with the technology available, all this can be actually simplified, right? DCO is really about having one set of template, right? And then we make individual components like background, image, overlay text, and all that. Make it dynamic, so that when ad server or the creative server gets audience is someone who are interested in running, then you show a running ad. If this audience is someone who is looking at maybe aerobic, then you show aerobic ad, right? So just imagine this scaled it 1,000 times, right? So this is where the DCO really comes into good play, that you can actually scale it across language, across geo, across different products information range. And this is where the power start to come in if you combine both the CMP and which is having those innovation templates, combine that with all this DCO that's happening. Yeah. Just a quick summary how it works. Usually, there will be a technology in place. It could be AI. It could not be AI. It could be just a personalization rule base, right? But what really essential, right? It could be the advertiser data, the geo data, the site behavior, the first party data, and then we need a template as well, right? Basically, a master template that create those ad server to ad serve this. Of course, talking to the different DSP and demand side platform and the buying platform, and serve that dynamically, right? And the aim is really about showing the most appropriate ads to the most relevant audience, with the desire to convert, right? And there's some ways to and there are different scenarios to do that, which I'm going to describe later. This is actually just example. I just want to give a quick example of how a typical scenario will look like. So for example, if you are a travel client that is you want to promote the audience to different destination. Sorry that I'm still using a travel in this time, but I think this is a very good example that I want to use. So first of all, I think we need a creative agency to come up with a master template. Right, so this is an example of a 3x250 master template, and with a logo, with title, with image, with button, right? And all this that need to be dynamic, need to replace with, we call it like a variables, or we call it with a placeholder. So that these are the elements that need to be dynamic served based on different audience. And then the third step is really to set up the different variants. What do we mean by variants is really the different creative version, right? In this case, one is travel to Singapore, one is travel to Europe, one is travel to Indonesia. So these variants could be in the form of Excel file, right? That means you can have 10, if simple, like 10 different versions, or you can scale it to 1,000. Right, if you are promoting 1,000 destinations at the same time, but for 1,000 destinations, you need to have 1,000 images, like copy and call to action buttons and things like that. Right, so one is to set it up on the DCO creative platform, right, and then you need to associate each variance with the DSP side, or if you're buying, it could be audience ID, it could be a line item ID, or that. So that there's association to it, so that when during the DSP, when ad is served, the bid is won, right? There is a data passing in from DSP to creative server to show that, okay, hey, this person is actually belong to audience ID 111, right? Please serve Singapore ad because they are interested in Singapore, right? So the Singapore ad will then serve. So this is just a easy example, simplified example of how personalization can work. So just imagine that this is 3 versions. You can scale it to 1,000 and all that. And this is just really an example of it. And that could be other scenario as well, right? Just now we talk about is using the DSP signal coming in and serve the different personalization, and it could be coming from DMP as well. There's one example that it could be location, right? For example, targeting location, targeting audience based on the user location, the lat long, and showing the nearest brand store location, showing the nearest restaurant, showing the nearest promotion, and displaying maybe a map, or maybe just showing the address. Behavior data. So this is most commonly used nowadays. So if you visit e-commerce cart but you didn't buy, especially now it's 12/12, Double 11, you probably have a lot of items in your basket, right? So if you leave, you probably got retargeted with the same set of products in the basket, right? So this example of how DCO work for behavior data, basically behavior within the site, showing abandoned cart data, last browse product information. This will require tagging on the page, things like that. Another way is environment. Probably not so much in Singapore, humid, hot and humid, but probably in some country that there's snow, there is raining, there's hot, then you can have, like, for example, raining, you serve the drink, like hot drink. If it's hot, you serve a cold drink, right? So this is a different permutation that you can set it up using environment data. Or it could be showing some real-time information. It could be showing, for example, now, unfortunately, I have to bring out another COVID case. I'm showing, okay, nearest today COVID cases. If more than 2,000, then maybe show a message about, hey, stay safe at home. If now the case is zero, okay, why don't we enjoy a restaurant outing with friends and things like that? So this example of like data that's available that we can make use. Third is the first party and third party data that just I mentioned, right? You can target by different segments, different first party data, different third party data, etc. Yeah. This is just some use case, as I mentioned, how we can use product recommendation, most viewed article, abandoned cart, exclude some content. So all this is really we can build on a DCO to really, have a funnel that you can drive users towards the goal that you want to go into. So how to get started? I think just I mentioned all the different scenarios. It's really important to take a step back, right? The traditional way of media planning, come up with a media strategy, creative idea, doesn't really kind of work anymore in this situation whereby you require both creative and media really sit down together hand in hand to really understand what's going on. And based on I think we also need someone that is more technology savvy, right? That means that they are not saying that the media creative are not technology savvy, but someone who knows about segmentation, about creative concept, plus able to gel between the media and creative. So that's why I give you a name like creative technology specialist. Probably this role doesn't exist, but it's important role to really to understand, okay, what is the objective, what are the data available, what are the first party data available, what are the possible things, what is the user journey, and understand from what is the creative concept, right? And then merge this creative concept and what is available, right? And how to enable this data, which is the second part is preparing the data, right? How the audience are segments. Do we require data feed? Do we require text setup? And this will probably more involve in the ad operations and how data are passing between the different platform. And then also into the actual creative setup. Basically, what are the type of creative need to be used? And this is where the creative technology will really work hand in hand with the creative planner, right? A lot of time there's, like just I mentioned, some of the innovation happening that could be even like going to AR or that this like it's not for the sake of innovation, but what is the best fit for the client, right? Choosing the right creative templates. What are the dynamic elements to serve? So for example, not all components, if you change it, it helps in the campaign performance. So really deciding what are the deciding elements, right? It could be just changing the price, or it could be maybe the image, right? Or even though it could be even just have a different promotions or different languages, right? So set what the different dynamic elements need to be set up, and then preparing, we call it like a creative or content metrics. Basically having a Excel sheet or Google sheet, right? Come up with what are the different creative variants targeting different audiences, right? And then from there, right, we'll be involved in the whole creative setup. And of course, all this is platform agnostic, so you can use this for your own platform and internally. And then after that, we'll be really go into the actual media setup, buying, and all this monitoring of the performance. Right, what are the different tracking, setup, attributions, and things like that. So, and what is optimization strategy, right? We are like optimization towards the full funnel attributions, click, and things like that. So these are the things that need to work on. And of course, I'm sure, agency now is starting to really embrace technology. So for brands, I think it should have a good concept across this area and help to navigate across this. Yeah. And yeah, I think this is I think we time and yeah, so this is kind of hopefully give you a good primer introduction in terms of what are the creative possibility and how you can get started and activate some of those things that I mentioned. Yeah. This is my name, Travis Koto Azami, and yeah, if you're interested in our solution, you can actually scan and we can kind of create a mock-up for you and see how it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, running, I think can back to you. I saw that some question answer, so let me know. Yeah.
Hi. So thank you so much, Travis, for your wonderful, insightful sharing with us here today. So I do like that, especially on how you were mentioning that how creatives can be further personalized. One, especially today when personalization at scale is such a huge thing now and so important to target a specific type of content to a specific segments. And it's great that it's now available and you can do that nowadays.